Welcome back to the Sovereign Society podcast. And let me just say that this is a very, very special episode because to me, this is the definition of medicine. When you have been navigating through some challenging times and you found yourself on this hamster wheel that it just feels like it never ends. The greatest thing I want you to understand is that the challenging days are over when you say they're over. You obviously haven't been hearing a lot from me lately because I've been navigating through hell and back with my mental health and getting multiple brain scans, over 100 vials of blood drawn. I've literally gone to multiple doctors and no one can find anything except I've been having these seizures. I was having them a lot when I was around my bleed. And then lately I also have had headaches with like all this pressure behind my eye. But I feel like it was an episode I had, I feel like I've pierced through the veil. The work that I've been working so hard towards is because I said it's done when it's done. You are a sovereign being having a human experience. And this is your life. And so it's up to you on how you're going to make the most of it or if you're going to allow yourself to be a victim of it. Why be a victim when you're here to be victorious? And now we're here during this powerful eclipse portal. The veil is getting thinner. The ancestors who have transitioned, they're rooting for us. And I don't know about you, but I've been devoted to being the sacred disruptor for my lineage, saying it ends with me so that my kids, the future of my lineage, doesn't have to go through the bullshit that I went through that I've had to clear out. And this is the biggest thing that I've been teaching people and have been helping people with. And now teaching that plus infusing more about systems and marketing, two things that I'm great at as well. Like, I just want to help you activate a legacy that has the ability to revolutionize the world. That's the work that I'm here to do. So in this episode, I just want to talk about a couple things that I've learned along the way from my journey that have really helped me come into wholeness within myself and that have really helped me on my healing journey to reclaim my power back. And right now, because the veil is thin, you should shield yourself. And what I mean by that is make sure that you are protecting your energy. Make sure that you're being discerning on where you bring yourself to, who you bring yourself around, the thoughts you're creating. Reclaim your power back. This is your life. And show the world that you're unfuckwithable, right? This is the time for you to make the most of your life. This is the time for you to answer the call to be part of the solution. And it starts with your simple action steps. With every action comes a reaction, right? And so I want to talk about the path of least resistance, right? Because this is one of the major laws of the universe. And the path of least resistance can either make you or break you. I had to say it. I know for me, what I learned was that feeling like a victim of the circumstances that I was going through, that was the path of least resistance because that was my dominant mindset. Whatever is your dominant mindset is your path of least resistance because it's not going to take as much effort to believe in it. Well, I'm sure that was a wake-up call for you. Your path of least resistance is your natural state of being, okay? So if you've been conditioned and bonded to your identity around your pain, that's your path of least resistance. If you are continuously identifying with your pain versus your pleasure, your pain is the path of least resistance, and your pleasure is the path of most resistance because it's been a foreign concept to you. So your brain is going to do its best to protect you, quote unquote, protect you from that pleasure because it's a foreign experience. I know for damn sure that's what's been going on with my life. And so I'm able to recognize this. I'm able to witness that the lessons and the medicine and the wisdom I learned from reaching burnout and getting sick, there was a purpose to it. And for me, that purpose, of course, is so that I can go forth on my path with more wisdom. But it's also so that I can share this with you so that you don't fall down that same path of beating yourself up, burning yourself out, getting sick and going to the hospital. It's not a good look and it's not a fun experience. I can tell you for damn sure it's been a hell of a ride. But you have to recognize that the path of least resistance is the space where you're most comfortable operating from. So if you're constantly, this is a great example, if you're constantly identifying that you're a people pleaser, you're going to continuously operate from that space because that is your path of least resistance. But if you say that you're a recovering people pleaser and you keep affirming that, you're going to start to shift your perspective and you're going to start to shift and rewire your brain, and you're going to start to recognize that there's a better life out there for you where you're not a people pleaser, where you're honoring your boundaries, where you're taking care of yourself, where you're nurturing yourself. These are the things that I really want you to embrace, what I want you to honor within yourself, and what I want you to get radically honest, especially during this eclipse season, okay? So when you're in this process of reprogramming and shifting your mindset where you're focused on the end result of what you desire, you have to start to implement the patterns and the ways of being of that blessed up version of you you are here to experience, embody, unleash out into the world. It's always within you. It's the doubt. It's the limiting beliefs. It's the insecurity. It's the past conditions and maybe the societal norms. You have the every right to pave a new path that is your truth. You have every right to live the life that you desire, especially when your intention is pure, when your intention is coming from a space of community and collaboration, is infused in the energy of the Aquarian age. Because I don't know about you, but I have been feeling the shift and I've been working my ass off to get to this level and to get to this space of awareness. And I know you have too. And if you're not there yet, keep going. Okay? This is the time for you to hone in on who is that blessed up version of you, who's actualizing what it is you desire, okay? And when you start to take that honest inventory of your habits, your new ways of being, how you speak to yourself, who you surround yourself with, everything that's about your actions, your ways of being, your boundaries, take that honest inventory and start implementing them now. Start implementing them now so that you can make this become the path of least resistance. There isn't resistance if it's your new norm, right? So my invitation for you is to take the time to reevaluate and reassess. If you're constantly on this, oh my gosh, like freaking out, you're gonna burn yourself out and you're giving away your power to something outside of you. See this as your opportunity and the time for you to break free from the outdated, misaligned patterns and the ways of being and start to do something about it, okay? This is your life. Take back your life. If you've been caught up to this old story, to these old conditions, to these old beliefs, something from your childhood that has yet to be addressed, where you haven't cultivated the time and space to nourish your inner child and to listen to them and to hear them out and give them the love that you always needed, because they're here with you. Time is an illusion, right? Take the time to get honest. Take the time to nourish you. Take that time to take the time out. If you needed a permission slip, here you go. You got this, okay? This is the invitation for you to cultivate a healthier relationship with yourself, okay? So get radically honest with yourself. Take responsibility for your life. Start implementing these new ways of being that support your health and well-being. And above all else, forgive yourself. Everyone is doing their best based on their level of awareness. That quote, I don't even remember when I came across that, but maybe in the beginning of my spiritual quest. That quote changed my life. It allows you to be kinder to yourself, to be kinder to someone else out there. It allows you to be patient with yourself and others. It allows you to just practice compassion for yourself and others. This is how we're going to raise the frequency of the planet, okay? This is how we're going to revolutionize the world. But to do that in our external reality, we have to first cultivate that within ourselves, right? Because the thing that I really want you to understand is that you can only go up from here when you believe that you can. If you know anything about the law of assumption, which is far greater than the law of attraction, I came across the law of assumption a couple months ago, and it's been a huge piece that's really helped me on my healing journey. It's something I want to be sharing more about. I talked about it. I wrote about it in my book that's going to be coming out soon. But this is something that I'm really passionate to share with you, because more than just thinking or becoming that vibrational match, you have to truly believe it. Believe in yourself. Believe it, okay? Over time and throughout your life, you have learned some serious lessons along the way. Have you not? And those lessons are what allow you to cultivate this deeper level of compassion, not just for yourself, but those you'll meet along the way, okay? You also create new content from that space that can help your audience from a place of integrity and wisdom. That's what I'm sharing right now. I had to be sick for the last year and a half and go through hell and back and, get to this place where I am, because I want to share content that's integrous. I want to share wisdom that lets you know you're not alone and what to avoid. Learn from my mistakes is the biggest thing that I could say, because I've made some mistakes. But you know what? I forgive myself. I was doing my best, and I'm here now. I'm kinder to myself. I'm gentle with myself. And this is the thing that I want to share with you too. If something from your past was painful and you've gotten through to the other side of it, right? How are you showing up in your truth as you tell your story? What's the perception of your journey that led you here? And what's the meaning behind what happened? So, for instance, me having seizures while I was bleeding, doctors didn't know what was going on, but because I know and trust my body, I know the truth because I took responsibility for my life, for my actions, for my choices, and my journey. I know that why I was having these seizures was that I was going through, and mind you, by the grace of God, I've had zero brain damage of these seizures. So this to me feels more spiritual. It can also be a little more energetic, but that's where doing a deeper analysis of my brain is coming in. But what I know for honing in my body and listening to my body and making that choice that my challenging days are over because I said they're over, and I'm not allowing that to have power over me anymore. I know that what's been going on was that I was having ancestral clearing on a DNA level every time I bled, and my body on a deep cellular level was releasing what no longer served. I made the commitment 11 years ago to embark on my spiritual journey to overcome and to heal my family. I'm an Italian woman. Like, family is so deeply rooted in my lineage, and I come from a very large family. I'm one of 20 grandchildren. Like, there's a lot of layers to work through, and I'm choosing to say yes. It takes a very courageous soul to do that deep work, but you know what? I saw that it could be done, and I knew God had my back, and I knew this was the journey that I was going to go on. So I did. It was hell, but I've gone through to the other side. But essentially, I've known that I came here not just for me. I came here for the future of my family, right? And doing this work. And so an outdated story and way of being that I refuse to have passed down through my lineage and through my reality, that's what was being released. And in a way, I'm praying that, my journey and my experience, I can share this with doctors, and that this can be a huge piece of the future of medicine on how we heal ancestrally. And I'm praying for that protection. I'm praying for that guidance. I'm praying for that support. I'm praying for that love. And I know God has my back, and I'm here as a child of God to bring truth and to bring peace and to bring love and compassion and light. This is the work that I said yes to coming here. And I just wanted to share this with you as a little beacon of inspiration, because again, the challenging days are over when you say they're over. And of course, get help when you need help, and hone in on yourself, start nourishing yourself and practicing true self-love. And when you do, recognize how much more alive you feel, how more present you are, how aware you are, and just the overall alignment that's going on. So I'm, again, so excited to be back here on the Sovereign Society podcast. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these mini episodes on my solo episodes and sharing with you more about sovereign embodiment and systems and marketing and just overall mysticism. I'm so grateful to be back. You can watch all these on YouTube, and you can go subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I definitely, as I shared in the last episode, feel like that's going to be the platform of 2023. The marketing machine in me. I even sent that episode to my old social media professor. But I encourage you to start to think ahead and hone in on that blessed up version of you who has a successful business, who is healthy, who has things flowing effortlessly, who's in alignment. Who is that version of you? And start to embody them now. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. And I'll be seeing you again next week. Take care. Satnam.